Hi there, my name is Niall Munro. I'm the subject coordinator for English literature in the undergraduate level here at Oxford Brookes. One of the great bits of my job is that I get to oversee the Royal Literary Fund Fellows Programme. The Royal Literary Fund is an organisation based in the UK which helps writers and runs education programmes. One of the programmes that they run is to send professional writers into universities right across the country in order to help students and staff too, actually, with their writing. It's an absolutely amazing resource. I've seen students come in not terribly confident with their writing at the beginning of a year or beginning of a semester, and then after an appointment, sometimes one appointment, sometimes two, maybe more appointments with Royal Literary Fund Fellows, their writing suddenly seems much more confident, accurate, and they seem to be saying what they were trying to say in the way that they would ideally like to express it. So it's absolutely terrific that we have these two wonderful writers, Michael Bond and Penny Black, on campus with us this year. What's more, this is a free resource. You don't have to pay. Writers will usually spend about 50 minutes with you working on a piece of writing, and it's open to everybody from right across the university, whether you are studying architecture all the way through to zoology and everything in between. It's open to you, providing you're doing some kind of writing that the Royal Literary Fund Fellows could help you with. So as I say, our two writers are Michael Bond, Penny Black. They'll introduce themselves in just a second. They're based in the Tong building, which is on the Gypsy Lane campus in Headington. Michael is usually going to be here on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Penny will be here at the latter stages of the week, Thursdays and Fridays. The best way to get hold of them is to email. You can either go onto the Oxford Brookes website and just search for Royal Literary Fund Fellows, and you'll track down the page, a bit of information about them there and their emails. As I say, they'll give you about 50 minutes. It's usually ideal to send them a bit of writing beforehand so that they can see what you're trying to say, and then they'll be able to give you a bit more advice about it. It's also worth mentioning, I suppose, that they're going to get really booked up probably around sort of mid-semester, maybe end of semester. So slot a time with the Royal Literary Fund Fellows into your plan, into your programme for when you're writing, when you're developing an essay or a piece of written work of some kind, and make sure you aren't disappointed. So without further ado, I will hand you over to Michael and to Penny, and I urge you to track them down at some point this year.
Hello, my name is Michael Bond. I'm a writer. I write non-fiction books about generally human behaviour and psychology and how people are influenced by the world around them. So I spend quite a lot of time trying to make complex ideas more accessible, which is exactly the kind of thing you're going to be doing in your essays and dissertations. I work with the Royal Literary Fund in partnership with Oxford Brookes University, and my job is to help people of any level, in any degree, and of any discipline with their writing. Important to note that although this is a partnership with the university, I'm completely independent of Oxford Brookes, so anything you bring to the sessions will be in confidence and won't be fed back to your tutors. The first thing to say is that writing is difficult and many of us find it very hard. It's one thing to know your subject very well, it's quite another to be able to develop an argument over the length of an essay or a dissertation. So my job is to make that a whole lot easier. And the sessions are one-to-one here on campus at Oxford Brookes, and they last 50 minutes, and you can bring anything that you're having difficulty with to the sessions. Just to give you an example of the kind of thing that we might deal with, we could be looking at the title of your essay or dissertation and trying to work out how to address it. We might be looking at the structure of your writing and how to develop it from start to end. We might be trying to organize your ideas into paragraphs, or looking at how to improve your sentences, simplifying your sentences and often shortening them. So if any of this sounds helpful, do get in touch. The first thing is to email me at michael.bond@rlfeducation.org.uk, and I hope to see you later this semester.
So hello, my name is Penny Black, and I am the RLF Fellow here along with Michael for this year, for this academic year. I am a translator, a playwright and a dramaturg. So I translate mainly plays. I've translated over 45 plays, and when I'm not translating plays, I translate arts articles, festival websites, museum catalogues, that sort of thing. I became a playwright because eventually there were some themes that I felt had not been touched upon in my translation. Oh, and I should add, I translate from German. And I wanted to write, and I do write, big family dramas that have a medical theme. So I've written about Alzheimer's, I've written about IVF, and I have written about stroke. So plays for theatre, but also audio drama. And I'm a dramaturg, which is basically in shorthand a script editor for plays. And also theatre, it's a bit more than just working on the text. You're often in the rehearsal room, and you can have circus dramaturgs and dance dramaturgs. And the dramaturg's job is to keep an eye on the narrative, the story of the play, and to ensure that what the playwright wants to write is in fact what they have written. I'm also meant to be writing my novel, but that's taking me years. I teach also just once a year at Goldsmiths in London and the MA in Dramaturgy and Writing for Performance. So that's who I am. Now, what can I do for you? How can I help you? So I think being a student, sometimes you're so busy working out what you want to say that you forget that there are marks, and it is incredibly important how you say it. It's the argument and coherence argument, and a percentage of the marks goes for how you write your essays. And you want to also ensure that you're really getting your argument across, because sometimes the balance of a text, you might have brilliant ideas, but you're just not putting them on the paper or through the computer in a way that the person reading them understands precisely what you're saying. And writing is editing and editing and editing and editing again and again. And I know you won't want to edit your essays 500 times, but if we can work together on a session and I can show where you are not writing exactly what you want to say, then I feel that my job is done. The sessions are, we come and work in this office. The sessions are 50 minutes long. It's confidential. We are not connected to the university in any reporting way. So any work that you come and do here is a confidential session. We can do some sessions online, but really prefer to do it in person. You can do an awful lot more in person, but if there is a problem, childcare, some sort of illness or something like that, then we are able to do sessions online as well. I'm here on Thursdays and Fridays. My colleague Michael, as you will have heard, is here on Mondays and Tuesdays. So I look forward to seeing some of you.